Hello YouTubers and welcome to episode 3 of season 5 at the beginning of 2020. Just finished off a lovely workout, a 3 by 15 minutes with 5 minutes rest. Basically trying to hold half-hour pace, so a little bit slower today than the half-hour last week. Been adding in some more things into the training. It's really sapping out the energy, so real focus for this week on recovery and fueling up, because remember, food is fuel. We've got Yam keeping watch as per usual. The heart rate on that last piece averaged 169, peaked at 183, so meaning I'm working that high end fitness, which is where I'm weakest at, holding that high heart rate without blowing my doors off. But now we're going to fuel up, because remember, food is fuel. Get a shower and I'll see you in a second. Come on then, Yam. Let's do the chat. And we've made it onto the couch. We've got Yam here, and now it's time for a chat with Yam and Cam. Maybe a staple of the vlogs going forward, but we'll see how this goes. As you can tell from the title, we're talking about 2K world record. So throughout the vlogs I spoke about 2K world record, but today specifically we're talking about Simon Van Dorp's attempt, or successful attempt, at the world record for 2K on the row perfect. So I talked to him back and forward on Instagram in the DMs, and I thought I would ask him a couple of questions about his 2K world record to see how it felt for him and to see what he thought of the whole thing. For those of you that don't know who Simon Van Dorp is, well, he's an outrageously powerful rowing athlete. He competed as a junior and an under 23 for his national team for the Netherlands before going off to the University of Washington to hone his rowing skills, where he has produced some outrageous numbers in the 6K, in the 5K, in the 2K, very close to the world record in the 5K. I think it was a world record in the 6K, or at least very, very close. And now he's taken a year out of his last year at the University of Washington to go for a seat in the Olympics this year in Tokyo. But it bodes well for him and his team when he's producing world record numbers on the row perfect for the 2K, and it's not even the peak of his season. So I took some time to ask him some questions about the 2K on the row perfect. So let's jump into the questions themselves. And for those of you that don't know, here is the actual result of the 2K. It's just outrageous. The row perfect is a little bit faster than the C2, but the jury is still out how much faster it actually is. So down to the questions. I've got them on my phone here to Simon. I've asked him, you've had some monster scores at the University of Washington and on the national team, and they just keep improving. What do you do, or what do you think is the key to keep on improving, especially when you're already close to the world records in some of those scores? Well, Simone says, I'd say I'm lucky to still be pretty young, making it easier to continue to improve. I also just keep shifting my expectations, and I don't want to get complacent. That's probably the takeaway for me, to continue to try and improve yourself, just to focus on yourself and what's good for your standards, which is a huge, huge thing. For Simone, obviously he can say, okay, the world record for this, for say the 2K on the C2 is 5:35. I'm close to that, I can go for that. But for some people, for me, I can't just say, okay, I'm going for a world record in the 2K because my PB is 5:50. It's too far off. And for some people, their world record number is 7 minutes. So you say, okay, let's go for 7 minutes and not go for 5 or 6. Everybody has their own standards, everybody has their own ability, and therefore everybody should have their own goals. So really well said by Simone, absolutely awesome. I asked Simone what he thinks the difference between the C2 and the row perfect are, and he says he isn't quite sure of the difference. He hears a lot of differences, he hears a lot of things from a lot of different people, and he's been going off a 6-second difference on the 2K. So add 6 seconds to his 5:28.95, you've got a 5:34.95, which is faster than and Yam's going away, which is faster than the current world record. So does that mean Simone is faster than the world record? It would be awesome to see him going on the C2 full Yam, but he says it also changes per person. Some people are stronger, bigger, smaller, etc. on the C2 and can affect it on the row perfect. And for me, you can rate a lot higher on the row perfect, which does affect the overall time. Simon did rate a lot higher on his 2K here on the row perfect versus his 2K previously, I think, at Washington. I asked Simon what it kind of felt like for his world record. Did he blow up at any point? Did he kind of know how he was going to do? Well, he said, honestly, I didn't really feel like a world record because not many people have really tested on the row perfect yet. Having said that, it was a good piece. I'd say it was probably as fast, if not faster, than his C2 PR, which is pretty cool. And also he says he's earlier in the season and not as prepared. I'm stronger than I've ever been. I'm looking back at the data. There wasn't much I could improve on pacing wise. And he's very pleased with how it went. He also goes on to say, I knew pretty early I was probably going to break the world record. That was the expectation from the coaches and myself going into the test. He wanted to break 5:30 and that's how he paced it. So unfortunately, he didn't really go out and blow up and hold on, which would have been made for some good content. But it's awesome to train and say, from the coaches, from in your head as well. If you can go into a piece and say, I want to do this time, whether it's 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is, and you go out and do that, that gives you a huge amount of confidence in the training you're doing and a huge amount of motivation for the next test when you can go in and say, okay, I did 7 minutes last time. I want to go and do 6:50 this time. And I know from all the tests I've done and all the training I've done that I can do that. So that's absolutely awesome to hear from Simon. And I asked him what his favourite rowing workout would be. He says, my favourite rowing workout is probably some short bursts at pace in the 8. For me, there's nothing more fun than in the 8, rowing and sending it. The better the 8, the more fun it is. And I can't really disagree with you there, Simon. Absolutely awesome. When you're in an 8, going full yam, flat out, there isn't really a different feeling in rowing. You're going full flat out, flat stick, full yamming on it till you can't yam no more. But it doesn't feel like you're trying that hard, but it does feel like you're trying hard. So it's kind of a weird feeling to describe, but it is absolutely amazing. And until you've felt that sort of feeling, you probably can't really quite get it. But it's absolutely awesome. Thank you very much, Simon, for answering those questions. Really cool answers from such a high caliber athlete and someone who is producing some outrageous scores at the moment. And hopefully, like he said, he's not at his peak right now and he's producing on the row perfect sub 5:30. Can he go faster? I think the Dutch team, this isn't from Simone, but I think the Dutch team, they do a lot of testing on the row perfect, and so I'm not sure if we'll see any of them testing on the C2 this year, but it will be awesome if they do get another chance to test the 2K. Will the Dutch team or Simone go faster than 5:28, 5:29? Fingers crossed they do, because the faster they can go on the row perfect, that means that the C2 world record is going to go down as well. But we'll soon find out kind of where that goes. And that will be it for today's episode, Yam Squad. Hopefully you've enjoyed it a little bit different, getting Simone involved. I want to get more people involved in the videos. I spoke to quite a few different athletes about doing a video related to the rowing machine, so hopefully we'll get that up and running soon. But hopefully you've enjoyed a little bit of chat with Yam and Cam. Unfortunately, Yam has went to bed being a little bit sleepy. And as always, Yam Squad, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Go ahead into the description below if you want to check out Simone's Instagram. And as always, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button. And I will see you in tomorrow's episode for episode 4 of season 5. Oh, yeah.